All right, I got a question from someone who plans on taking theology classes online. Now, they're not intending to use it for purposes of gainful employment, but they're wondering how that's going to affect them on their next review. Now, I've done a few videos talking about school, and I've always said a lot of times it's not the focus, and I'm going to reiterate it again here. Your focus should not be on the class itself. Your focus needs to be on the circumstances by which you take the class. For instance, in the example that was provided, or the question that was provided to me, that individual indicated they were going to only take one class at a time. Are you doing that for financial reasons, or are you doing that because your impairment prevents you from taking more than one class at a time? In other words, you know the demands of more than one class and your body physically can't handle it. If you're going through an organized school, does the school allow you any type of accommodations? Meaning, I know some online schools have disability accommodations so that if an individual needs extra time to turn in assignments, extra time to take tests, they give them, or they give them the opportunity to do assignments for a longer period of time, things of that nature. Do you have those accommodations? Can you show what those accommodations are? When you're doing your class, is it a live presentation or can you watch it archived? Are you able to make it through the live presentation if they have one? If they do an archive where you can look at it when you want to, can you make it through the archive presentation? You got to be able to explain all of the circumstances of how you do what you do when you're going to school. Now, you would say to yourself, Attorney Reeves, why is that relevant? That's extremely relevant because you want to be able to show to the Social Security Administration the limitations you have with even doing your own schoolwork. Don't let Social Security, and I tell people, do not let Social Security fill in the blanks for you. Give them as much information. This is why people tickle me when they're like, they want to be strategic about what they put in there. And I'm always like, listen, stop trying to treat this like this is Mission Impossible. It's not that serious. This is not a James Bond movie. Okay, this is not Ghost Protocol or Mission Impossible. What you're doing, or Call of Duty, or any of those covert missions, you ain't trying to tug and weave around here. You want to give Social Security as much information about the nuances of how you do things because they don't live in your house. So if you know that for an hour of presentation, you can only make it through 30 minutes sitting before you have to pause it to go lay down for an hour because your back is killing you and then come back, tell them, because they're not going to know unless you say something. So don't sugarcoat it and say, oh, I take an online class and it's 1 hour a day and I got 3 hours worth of homework. Well, guess what? If you leave that information to me, I'm going to fill in the blanks. I always tell people, you don't want people to fill in the blanks for you. If you know that you have one class a day and you have about 2 to 3 hours worth of homework, but you can only do it 15 to 20 minutes at a time because of all the pain, say that. Don't just sit up here and say 3 hours because guess what? They're going to assume that you can do 1 hour straight of classwork and then 3 hours of homework straight. And they're going to use that information. You want to be clear about the limitations of how you handle going to school, whether it be in person or online.